Well, I wish I didn't, but I do. And you know what that means, right? What's it gonna be here for DKG, Grandin? I think you know the answer.
Does this mean that Win and Yo go back to the coach and say, hey, we don't feel like playing Zed anymore, can we play something else?
Look, I think, yeah, there we go. It's gonna be the Zed for
Coach
Yo.
says no, you have
10
to play
out of
that
11.
Zed.
10 out of 11, Grandin. Is this gonna be 11 out of 12? Look, the formula is not changing for Darken Gaming. They're saying it's working, let's keep rolling with it. We have the momentum, the wins under our sails. Let's drive this one home. And it looks like ThunderTalk. What's their answer gonna be? That's the big question for me. Their answer was Riven yesterday. Now it's permabanned away. What's the answer against Zed?
Okay, they're gonna go for the Thresher. Potential pickup on was destroying the scrim scene. And now in competitive play, I know scrim bugs don't count for a lot, but when you have enough of them, surely it means something, Omo.
It definitely means something when you're 2-0 up in the grand finals, Grandin. Darken Gaming, I think this team looks phenomenal right now, but I do like the adjustments that ThunderTalk have made. Give your bottom lane a bit of potential here to get something going. Punish the brand. This champion has a weak laning phase. Alistair has a weak laning phase. Get something going right now.
Okay, well, just a bit of a trade from both sides. Interesting start from ThunderTalk there. Weren't quite able to force more from Emo.
Yeah, you just want to chunk him out, and you want to slowly whittle him down. Every flay you get, he should be losing 1 or 2 bars of health. You do it one more time, and Emo should be out of the lane. That's the idea here. They are the stand-ins. They are the substitutes. S12K and Azure, they're coming in to replace what I thought was an amazing bot lane from ThunderTalk. Soya and SY, I thought they did amazingly for this team. Now Azure and S12K, they're trying to duplicate that performance here. Kaiser Trash, a lot of burden will be on these two substitutes to really step up big time.
They were really a big part of the discussion, right? Because as we were looking back towards their regional matches, we felt like ThunderTalk had a lot of presence with Soul and SMY, which is what enabled Z to perform as well as he has been. But at the same time, Azure and S12K have been performing well in the Horizon Cup, but as they go up against DKG, they are really pushing their limits here.
This
we
is
start to see things happen. Well, Chris is looking for that bot lane gank, forces the flash away from Win, preemptively gets out of vision. I like what's happening here.
And this is something that ThunderTalk did against Roaster Y yesterday as well. When your bot lane gets priority, you push them off the turret, you zone them off the wave, and you gradually get these leads for Azure. He's on the Kaiser, he can really carry this game. Z's on Orianna, he can really carry this game. ThunderTalk, it looks like this time around, they might have a real option.
Okay, there we go. Double Scuttle Crab.
Finally!
Plus that bot lane gank, and
yeah.
I want to give some credit over to Z. This Orianna that's been able to shove out the lane, find so much priority on both sides. That's why Chris was able to walk out to the bot end as well as he has been.
Yeah, S12K kind of misplayed that one.
That's a nice death sentence.
People should be able to do that.
Emo,
There we go! There we go!
Ignite comes across. Heal's going to be there. He will barely survive.
I was so excited. I thought for once ThunderTalk they were able to strike the first blow without getting anything taken back from them. Unfortunately, not the case. They do get a bit of incremental leads in the bottom lane, but it's not enough to blow the game open yet. It's still a small lead. A couple hundred gold here and there, close to 1,000, but we still gotta look out for the 4-minute window, Brandon. When the Dragon spawns, when Herald spawns, that's when Darken Gaming is their strongest. That's when the brand pick shows off. That's when the Zad pick from Yo really starts to pop off as well. Can ThunderTalk survive that storm?
Well, they need to have some good team fighting around those neutral objectives like you mentioned. But DKG getting ever so much closer towards those big power spikes. I mean, just looking at the laning from Dakun so far, so unassuming. They're playing under their turrets, playing it safe, and yet you just know the pressure is on ThunderTalk to make things happen.
Even if not to make things happen, in this game they have the scaling option. So if you're not trying to make things happen, can you at least not explode the moment a team fight begins? Because we have seen that from ThunderTalk earlier in the series. They have made uncharacteristic mistakes on the grand final stage. Hopefully this time around they manage to stabilize a bit, but the clock is ticking, Brandon. 4 minutes is rapidly approaching. This is the power spike window for Darken Gaming. We know what they can do here.
Okay, well here's the thing though, Darken Gaming, they won't get many good options. It's just going to be the Clown Drake as well as that Rift Herald. So if Darken Gaming choose to go and grab that Rift Herald and ThunderTalk saying you can have it, we'll trade for Drakes and we'll play for that late game, they have that option.
That's definitely the better play here, I think, for ThunderTalk. You don't want to risk losing a big team fight when you know you can outscale. And I think that ThunderTalk, I really want to see what their rotation is right now. It should be Kaiser Trash to mid lane and play for control on Harrow. Back off if DKG try to contest you, play for Dragon. It looks like they're just going to play for the bot lane. They're going to give up the Repel. And like you said, they're going to play for the Cloud Dragon, play the skill.
Alright, well, if ThunderTalk get there early enough, they might be able to do both. Yeah. We've seen how that one plays out before, especially when you have decent team fighting as well. It may not be as good as DKG, but if you find initiative of your own, especially as look at what's happening here. They're actually going to start walking towards this S12K. He's moving towards the Rift Herald now. He's going to come in as well. Emo, he's looking for a re-engage here, potentially has vision over them. Win's going to be nearby. He's looking for the Pyroclasm. Forces the flash away from Z. ThunderTalk.
Yeah.
A little bit too greedy there.
very greedy. I think they didn't expect Huiba to start it on spawn. They didn't expect the Rift Herald to drop that quickly. ThunderTalk got a bit greedy. S12K, he didn't manage to fillet the headbutt, and because of that, Z has to blow flash. Now, Grandin, take a look at Darkin's team comp for me, will you? Jarvan, Kha'Zix, Zed. If you're an Orianna without flash, I think you're pretty scared right now.
A little bit scared.
Yeah, he's no longer playing League of Legends, really. It's a horror game at this point. Feibai, though, huge.
Gets away. That's going to be the re-engage. Emo looking. Take him down with the rocket belt. You love to see it.
You love to see it, and it was extremely close as well. If he had Ignite, the Rocket Belt Ignite would have taken him down. Fortunately, not the case. Feibai performing pretty solid so far in this game tree. I think the whole series, he has had a respectable performance, but he needs the rest of his team to perform alongside him.
Well, that's first turn for DKG, the gold advantage on the red side.
For Huiba, basically funneled into Huiba. Emo took some of his gold away, but I think if Emo gets some gold, you're pretty happy as DKG, even though he's on the tank, even though he's on that Alistair. This man has been a pivotal playmaker for Darkin Gaming, and he's not looking to stop now.
The way he plays into these fights, the engages that he has, have been so phenomenal. And as we build up Huiba, we build up Emo, I feel like, yo, this does a little bit of recognition as well. I mean, the guy's been pretty insane. This Zed...
To be fair, he's been playing Zed a bunch of games.
I mean, you have to pilot it well.
Yeah.
Surely.
He definitely has.
The skill ceiling is so high on this champion. The skill expression is all there. Yo's the one that's actually making it happen. He's the playmaker here.
I completely agree. I think he's playing insanely well. His mechanics have been close to perfection. And I think Yo, you know, he's really making a case for himself here up against Z as well. Of course, he has the best team in the world behind him, supporting him, enabling him. But he's definitely been no slouch.
I feel like, again, this just goes back to the idea for me that a lot of these champions that end up building Cerebel's Grudge right now are so prevalent in the meta.
Grandin, Cerebel's Grudge, oh, your new gamer tag, you're welcome for that one.
Just feels like that way because you look at champions like the Kha'Zix, like the Zed, it has such an easy way to build into that.
You have to get there first. Keep in mind, Chris last game did not even buy it off the game.
Absolutely. Zero's gonna get caught off. Definitely doesn't build Cerebel's Grudge on his build. Evo's gonna get traded back. ThunderTalk able to fight back in turn, but across the map, pressure still in favor of DKG.
Yeah, DKG, they really get it all. You lose Emo, but you take down a Zero. And when we talk about the late game scaling options of ThunderTalk, it's Orianna, it's Kai'Sa. Losing the Kai'Sa here is gonna hurt you a lot, and it starts from Emo. This man, camping in the bush, sneaking past S12K. You pick the trash to counter the Alistair. But Emo doesn't care. He picked Alistair into trash. He says, I can outplay you. And he's right so far.
What we have to address though is Azure has now managed to pick up his BF Son, the execution is calling the Vampire Acceptor. Yeah. So why you want to go for all these components first is because it gets you to that Incantant Rain upgrade. And that's a power spike available for ThunderTalk now. They're going to be able to use that upgrade to get more damage, which is what they desperately need against DKG.
Yeah, they really need damage, but I don't think they're looking to take a fight just yet. If you look at the items across the board, Z is the Archangel Staff. You still are trying to scale up on Kai'Sa. Vi's not going to scale very well, but he just has one job. He needs to punch Huiba in the face. That's it. He needs to enable his team by making sure Kha'Zix does not threaten them, and I think he's going to be able to do that job extremely well here with the support that they have. They have Lantern to bail him out if he dies too deep. They have the ball right on top of him as well from Z, and I like this little sneaky play here. They threaten Yo. Can he outplay this?
Well, it doesn't look like he's going to really have to. Chris is still hesitant on looking for the engage. He actually does. Gets the initial dodge off, but he still gets locked down. The flash away from Chris, but he has to stare his gauge as Yo dashes back on the turret. Azure is being played like a fiddle. And Emo rushing down to the bot side now. He has the Rocky Bell. Hashtag he's chasing after Azure, and he'll finish off the marksman. But back over to the mid lane. Z will find the kill. Takes down Wind. That's the damage source gone. No brand left for DKG.
No brand left for DKG, but that's all they have left in the tank. Azure committed his ultimate, Chris committed his ultimate, but they weren't able to take down Yo. He mind-gamed the both of them so very well, playing around his shadows there, and I think, like you said, Yo needs more credit. This man, his mechanics have been off the charts. He bought so much space on the map for DKG, and with that play done and dusted, DKG, they're still sitting at a gold lead. They still have the Rift Herald available, and they're gonna be the ones starting off this dragon.
DKG will likely get the dragon as well. I don't think ThunderTalk can really contest this one. Might look for a steal. I mean, Chris is nearby. Huiba walks over. Decides that he's gonna just take this jungle. I love this. I love this aggression.
Oh,
right
Azure
now.
stuck.
It absolutely is. In between two assassins, the mid lane looking a little bit stuck as well. Picture in picture, I think that's just going to be Azure going down pretty soon, unless Chris comes in to interfere. He's running interference, coming back, gets locked down onto Yo. That could mean the Zed goes down. But in the meantime, Azure gets picked off and knocked back into YK. Chris looking for a chance to re-engage. Emo still has his ultimate, so things are looking interesting. What happens here in the back though? Feibai comes in to finally take down Huiba. And it just doesn't seem like these teams want to stop fighting.
And granted, that was a good play there for ThunderTalk. Finally, they get a lead in one of these fights. Azure, he nearly outplayed that as well. He tried to auto Huiba for the Killer Instinct proc. Pay attention to the map though. Yo, just about TP's coming back.
That's what Z has to do. He has to get the pick off first. YK will go down before Yo can get anything done. He's locked in the Catalyst and he jumps over it. But it's not too late. He doesn't have any more spells.
Yeah, and Z bought TP there, so that was a big investment. And it's gonna delay his power spike with the Cyrilda's Grudge.
Yes,
he does have the Yomu's Ghost
it?
Blade. He does have the Black Cleaver, so he's still gonna be pumping out a lot of damage. But he's not gonna get the Grudge just yet. And while that's happening, Z is scaling. He's approaching 2 items. Azure is scaling. He's approaching 2 items. Feibai has been quietly performing very well so far this series. He is on 2 items as well. So a lot of very real threats here for ThunderTalk. I think the next Dragon we're gonna see in a couple of minutes, TT will look to fight. They'll look to take the 5v5. And hopefully, for the first time this series, they win their first 5v5.
Look, I'm starting to feel like that Garen ban might be hurting DKG a little bit more than what they initially let on. Feibai actually going to have to face off against Huiba. Z misses out the chance for the shockwave.
He was invisible. In Z's defense, Huiba was invisible right there, so he tried to predict his movement a little bit. Unfortunately, not gonna get that one, but I still think Feibai and Z, the 2 duo members who were here from the start, are doing very well.
Azure caught out that death sentence would stop Yo, but Azure walks back in.
Yes,
You can't do that, not against this guy. Yo's gonna actually dodge back on the turret. The Zhonya's will keep him alive. Chris comes in here, looking to take down the Zed, who has the flash, so still can get away with the Ignite onto Chris. A little bit more damage from Huiba. It just seems like this Vi will ultimately go down.
Man. And that's the problem here. The Vi dives in, but she's diving in alone. You need the Killer Instinct. You need the Shockwave, but both were not available. And that means that Chris will get taken down. Rift Herald will get popped. And DKG, look at mid lane. They want it all. They want mid, they want bulk. They're not gonna rest.
That Rift Herald, not as much
well,
value,
not
as much value as he could have possibly had. Yeah. I don't think DKG are all too concerned about that. Azure again, so risky to step forward like that.
DKG, they're feeling themselves right now. They're confident. They're taking the skill checks. They're diving you between turrets. They're pushing 2 lanes at once. At 12 minutes in the game, TT, they need to calm down. They need to slow down the pace of the game. They need to play the 5v5s front to back. You need to make sure Z has a shockwave. You need to make sure he syncs it with Chris. And you need to make sure that DKG don't pick you off before you team fight.
The smallest gold lead that DKG have had in this series so far. But yet, at the same time, it still feels like they have a lot of pressure, but ThunderTalk have that fighting chance. They've been able to find some priority on the other side of the map. I think this is best summarized by the idea of playing cross-map, and ThunderTalk have been able to put the pressure down towards the Dragon side, while DKG have been doing it effectively everywhere else.
Granted, I'm so proud of you. You identified the point there exactly as what DKG wants to do. And look at the map state. Look at them do exactly what you're saying, Brandon. ThunderTalk, they're 5-man group. They're trying to find a play. They're trying to find an engage. But DKG, they're just trading for bot lane. Yo's pushing in. Huiba's guarding him. Evo's not gonna die. He's tanky.
Glad to make you proud, Omo, but I think ThunderTalk can make you even prouder. They're able to pull this one away. Huiba stuts up the Dragon. Has Yo by his side. They're looking for an engage there. That's going to be... Yo gets caught. That's Evo. He's jumping in. That's the fight they might have been looking for. Win isn't able to output the damage. They actually take down Yo. They take down YK as well. ThunderTalk moving together as a unit. They're 5-man together. Strong enough, despite everything that DKG are throwing at them. Will not be enough. A little bit more damage from Win. But he's been sent back to the mid lane. ThunderTalk finally get the fight they were looking for.
4 for 1, Brandon. That's the first team fight win for ThunderTalk in the entire day, in the entire series so far. 5 for 1, maybe even.
Win, what's happening here? Z surely will get this kill, but it's looking a little
damage.
bit close. I mean, what's happening? He's skirting the turret. He's right there by the side. He's gonna walk out. He gets away.
He gets away, he sneaks away, he survives there, but Darkun Gaming, that was the first real blow they've taken so far this series. They lose 4 members, they lose 2 turrets, they lose the dragon as well. Grandin, could this be it? Could ThunderTalk have finally found the formula? The scaling, is this the play here? Look at how this team fight starts. I think a lot of credit goes to Azure. He's playing so aggressively, uses the stealth upgrade to dash in, chunk out YK, baits them with the Zhonya's, killer instincts back in to finish off YK. Skirting around the edges and fight so extremely well here. They clean up Emo, and look at this. Hueba, he's done this before, he's doing it yet again. He's getting too aggressive with no right to be, and the point CC, punish the Kazakhs, they get the teamfight win, but it's still only 1,000 gold lead for TT.
And look what happens, Hueba once again, he stepped too far forward, gets caught out. Nice knockback from Emo, will keep his jungler alive. YK looking for the re-engage as the teleport comes across with DKG overcommit for that fight.
DKG, they commit a lot, and what happens to the other side of the map? We said DKG won a cross map, but Feibai right now on this Renekton starting to find pressure on the side lane. We're seeing a game first. TT took their first team fight this series. They're putting pressure on the side lane for the first time this series, and they're starting to take control of DKG's jungle.
DKG, they seem a little bit unsure what to do in this position. If I'm being honest here, they're walking into the jungle like it still does, but ThunderTalk will force them back and say, no, now this is our game to run.
But Grandin, look at the inventories of Darkun Gaming. What do we see right now that wasn't there before? 2 Cyrilda's grudges picked up by Hueba and Yo. Could this be it? Because you gotta keep in mind here, when we talk about team comps that wanna dive into you, Cyrilda's grudge is slow. It does so extremely well to split up teams. That could be what we see here. We might see something where Chris dives in, Feibai dives in, and Z and Azure get zoned away by Cyrilda's grudge as well as the threat of the double assassins.
Look, I'm gonna say that it is. I like the item enough to say that it will be.
My man here is not cheering for either of these teams, he's just cheering for Cyrilda's grudge.
Cyrilda's grudge will win you the game. That's all I'm cheering for, that's what I'm looking forward to see.
I'm cheering for TT to tie this one up, so hopefully that's not the case here. And with that in mind, they're gonna jump on Z, but let him
well, the Cataclysm has already been expanded. That's a tool that he no longer have. Nice re-engagement has 12k. And the Descendant to lock in Emo, but he's going to go back in, try to get the jump on the Z. Hueba's been forced out. Feibai joins into the fight, gets the flash on, pops the hourglass from Hueba, who's in the backline trying to take somebody down. But Yo's fully out of this fight. 2 dead on Darkun Gaming.
Amazing team fight from ThunderTalk right there. They're gonna start the Baron off, and I want to see a replay of that team fight. And I want you guys to look at each individual member of ThunderTalk and how well they played.
We might need 5 replays for that.
We might need 5 replays from each of their perspectives. And look at this right now. They still correctly identify. We need to zone it away. We need to make sure Zio can't come near this. We need to make sure YK can't come near this. And they do just that. Renekton and Ori, they do their jobs. They zone DKG away. We talk about how DKG might just be the best team in the world, have the best team play in the world. ThunderTalk, they prove they can fight you tooth and nail.
And as this Renekton starts to get stronger, Feibai shows why first pick Renekton is a respectable choice.
Yeah, and we were talking about the Zed win rate as well. 10 wins in 11 games. Could this be one of the first few times he loses?
10 wins in 12 games? Crazy concept.
Still sounds pretty broken to me.
Absolutely. Well, next
okay,
thing up on the plate is going to be that Elder Draken. YK, he has been having a tough time looking for an engage here. Emo, he's trying to force something. He's dived in deep under ThunderTalk, brought the fight to them, but Z with a 2-man shockwave will obliterate win. He's immediately out the fight at Azul, dives in aggressively. Feibai there. Chris, he's holding on Yo by himself at ThunderTalk Gaming. You can't quite count them out because when the timer comes down to it, they are here to play and they will look to end this one off. 3 alive on Darkun Gaming. They pull back Hueba. They're in the base onto the Nexus. 5 strong standing in front of DKG, working away at that Nexus. Slowly but surely, Azure will finish it off. The Shockwave will finish it off. ThunderTalk